There are a lot of ways to start an interstellar war. You could invade a planet, you could violate a fragile treaty, or if you really wanted to cause universal chaos, you could do what humanity did. We moved our entire planet, and the worst part? We didn't tell anyone. You see, from the perspective of the Vatraxian Empire, this was supposed to be an easy conquest. They had been watching Earth for centuries, tracking our progress, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. They didn't see us as a threat. Primitive, reckless, fragile. But one thing they did know. Humans were stubborn. We didn't like giving up. So, before their invasion fleet arrived, they made a simple tactical decision. They would destroy Earth's defenses in a single strike. A swift, calculated planetary bombardment. One shot, no resistance, no drawn-out war, just obliteration. At least, that was the plan. But when the Vatraxian armada reached our solar system, there was just one small problem. Earth was gone. At first, they thought it was a navigational error. Maybe their sensors were wrong. Maybe they had miscalculated the orbital trajectory. Except, they hadn't, because everything else was still there. Mars, Jupiter, the Moon. Even our satellites were still in place, orbiting nothing. It was as if Earth had been deleted from existence, or worse, stolen. Admiral Korvok of the Vatraxian Empire had led over 100 successful planetary campaigns. He had crushed rebellions, conquered homeworlds, and reduced entire civilizations to dust. But never, not once, had he arrived at a war zone only to find that the planet itself had vanished. Find them. That was his only command. And the Vatraxian fleet obeyed. Scanners swept the system. Drones scoured every known space sector. Ships searched for any trace of mass displacement. But there was nothing. No debris, no planetary remnants, not even a gravitational echo where Earth should have been. It was as if the entire planet had simply stood up and walked away. And that's when Korvok felt something he hadn't felt in decades. Fear. Because whatever had the power to move an entire planet was something the Empire did not want to fight. It took 3 hours for the fleet to locate the first clue. A single, lonely transmission, broadcasting from an ancient relay station left behind in Earth's old orbit. A repeating signal. At first, they thought it was a distress beacon. Then, as the message played, they realized it was something much worse. It wasn't a cry for help. It was a taunt. The transmission was simple. No encryption, no complex codes. Just one human voice speaking in Galactic common. A message playing on a loop. Hey, looking for something? Yeah, about that. We moved. Good luck finding us. And then, after a brief pause, a sound. A distinctly human sound. Laughter. Admiral Korvok crushed his communicator in rage, because now the entire galaxy would know. The unstoppable Vatraxian Empire, the ones who boasted of their absolute control over the stars, had just been outmaneuvered by a bunch of reckless, insane humans. Earth hadn't been conquered. It hadn't been destroyed. It had just left. And worst of all, they had no idea where it went. You ever try to hide a sock from a dog? You move it, you cover it, you shove it in a drawer, and somehow they still find it. Now imagine trying to do that, with an entire planet. And this time, the dog isn't some cute golden retriever. It's a war-hungry alien armada armed with planet-destroying weapons and a really bad temper. And yet, we pulled it off. Somehow, against every law of physics, every galactic prediction, and every logistical nightmare imaginable, we moved Earth. And here's the best part. Nobody even noticed until it was too late. It started as a joke. Like all truly stupid ideas, this one began in the worst possible way. A drunk bet. A scientist, an engineer, and a military strategist walk into a bar. Stop me if you've heard this one before. The scientist, Dr. Elijah Carter, slams his drink down and says, "You know, if we really wanted to mess with the galaxy, we should just move Earth." The engineer, Alex Navarro, laughs and replies, "Yeah, sure. I'll just grab a big old tow truck. And the strategist, General Tobias Graves, doesn't laugh. He just leans forward and says, "How long would it take?" And that's when everyone at the table realizes he's serious. Operation Cosmic Misdirection. The problem wasn't moving the planet. The problem was doing it without anyone noticing. See, the galaxy has rules. Planets orbit stars. Stars stay in systems. Big things don't move without making a whole lot of noise. And yet, we did it anyway. By the time the Vatraxian fleet arrived at Earth's old location, humanity had already executed the greatest vanishing act in history. And here's how we pulled it off. Step 1. Make it look normal. You can't just yank a planet out of orbit. That's stupid. People would notice. Sensors would detect it. And worst of all, it would probably kill everyone in the process. So instead, we used a cheat code, a trick called gravitational lensing. By manipulating light and space-time, we made Earth's old orbit look completely normal. From an outside perspective, everything seemed unchanged, except there was nothing actually there. Step 2. Hide the evidence. Ever play the shell game? The one where you move a ball between cups and make people guess where it is? Well, we did that with the whole planet, using a mix of quantum displacement tech, artificial gravity wells, and a ridiculous amount of math. We created phantom Earths in multiple locations. Anyone scanning for us would get different readings. Some would show Earth still in place. Others would show Earth orbiting Jupiter. A few even made it look like Earth had been destroyed. But the truth, we were already gone. Step 3. Move the damn planet. This was the part everyone said was impossible. Moving a planet should have required a civilization-level superweapon or divine intervention. But humanity, we just cheated the laws of physics. See, most species move through space by traveling in ships. Humanity decided to turn Earth into a ship. We built the largest planetary thrusters in existence. We dug deep into the mantle, placed gravitic engines the size of continents, and slowly, so slowly, we started shifting Earth's orbit. A fraction of a degree at a time. Not enough for anyone to notice, not enough to trip any alarms. But after 50 years of secret work, Earth was no longer where the rest of the galaxy thought it was. We had moved, and no one had a damn clue. Why did we do it? Because we knew they were coming. We knew the Vatraxians were planning an invasion, and we had two choices: stay and fight a war we couldn't win, completely remove ourselves from the battlefield. And honestly, option 2 was way funnier. Because what's the point of war if your enemy shows up to fight, and you're not even there? Admiral Korvok had spent his entire career destroying planets, but never once had he lost a planet before even firing a shot. And now, the entire Vatraxian armada was just floating in an empty solar system. Billions of credits spent, thousands of warships deployed, decades of strategic planning. And what did they get? Nothing. Just a floating sign in Earth's old orbit. One last message, a final insult, a simple human phrase that made absolutely no sense to them. But to us, it was perfect. Better luck next time. And that's when the Vatraxians realized the worst truth of all. They hadn't outsmarted humanity. Humanity had outsmarted them. And worse, we were still out there, watching, waiting, and they had no idea where we'd gone. If you ever want to see an entire interstellar empire have an existential crisis, just do what we did. Steal a whole planet and don't tell anyone where it went. Because the moment the Vatraxian Empire realized Earth was missing, the rest of the galaxy found out too. And let me tell you, they did not take it well. At first, nobody believed it. Because moving a planet, that's not a thing that happens. Planets stay put. That's how physics works. So the other alien empires started making excuses. It must be a sensor error. Maybe Earth was destroyed, and the Vatraxians are covering it up. Perhaps it was never real in the first place. Yeah, some aliens genuinely believed that Earth was a mass hallucination. Billions of humans, hundreds of years of communication, dozens of recorded first contacts. All of it? a galactic fever dream. And honestly, that was probably the safest theory, because the alternative was that we did the impossible, and that terrified them. Once the galactic governments accepted that Earth was real, they lost their collective minds. The first thing they did? Check every other planet. Because if one planet could disappear, what was stopping more from vanishing? Governments deployed millions of drones to scan their homeworlds for unexpected mobility. Some even drilled into their planetary cores just to make sure they were still attached to the mantle. And let me tell you, there is no greater sign of panic than a species trying to tie its own planet down. But that was just the beginning, because then the conspiracy theories started. Theories ranged from mildly paranoid to completely unhinged. Some believed humans had ascended to godhood. False, but we'll let them think that. Others thought we had discovered faster-than-light planet travel. Also false, but that would be cool. But then there was the most popular theory, the one that really got the galaxy sweating. What if humanity didn't move Earth to escape? What if they moved it to attack? Once the galaxy realized we could be anywhere, the next logical step was to find us, and every major empire joined the search. The Vatraxians, furious, they deployed thousands of scout ships. The Krell Dominion, absolutely terrified, they doubled their planetary shields. The Zixian coalition thought it was the funniest thing they'd ever seen. And the best part, every single one of them had a different theory about where we went. The Vatraxians thought we were hiding in a black hole. The Krell thought we built a Dyson sphere. The Zixians, they started a betting pool. Odds on where Earth was hiding went galactic. Some believed we hitched a ride on a rogue planet. Others thought we merged with Jupiter. One particularly insane bet claimed we turned Earth into a giant spaceship and were just cruising through the void. They were closer than they realized. While the galaxy was losing its collective mind, what were we doing? Laughing. Because here's the thing, we could see everything they were saying, every panicked government meeting, every intercepted transmission, every desperate attempt to locate us. We watched alien empires scramble, arguing about what to do next. And the best part? They had no idea we were listening. Where did we actually go? Well, that's the question, isn't it? And here's the answer. We didn't go far. In fact, we never left the Milky Way. We just found a better neighborhood, somewhere off the star maps, somewhere no one was looking. And now, we're watching. Because sooner or later, one of these empires is going to figure it out. They're going to realize where Earth really is. And when they do, they're not going to like what they find. For years, the galaxy searched for us. They sent drones, spies, deep space probes, anything they could think of. And all they found was nothing. No distress signals, no planetary debris, no survivors drifting through the void. To the rest of the universe, Earth was a ghost, a cautionary tale, until someone finally found us. And that's when everything got worse. See, the reason no one found Earth for so long wasn't because we were hiding in some distant galaxy. We were still in the Milky Way. We just weren't where they expected us to be. The key to our success? We didn't move the planet itself. Well, not in the way they thought. We moved it sideways, out of phase, out of sync with normal space-time. The best way to describe it: imagine Earth was a radio station. The rest of the galaxy was tuned to the wrong frequency. They could scan all they wanted. They'd never find us, until one of them accidentally adjusted the dial. The first alien to find Earth wasn't some high-ranking warlord or a brilliant scientist. It was a delivery pilot, a random interstellar courier flying through the void, running on bad navigation software. They made a wrong turn, slipped through a gravitational distortion, and suddenly, boom! They were staring at a big blue planet that wasn't supposed to exist. According to the pilot's flight logs, it took them a full minute to process what they were looking at. A planet. An entire planet, just sitting there. Their ship's sensors were screaming. The planet's mass didn't match any known celestial body. The gravitational readings were wrong. It was as if the laws of physics had given up and decided to let Earth do whatever the hell it wanted. And then, the pilot's ship got a transmission, a direct message, from Earth. If you were expecting a dramatic official greeting, I regret to inform you that humanity, well, we're still us. The message sent to the alien pilot. It wasn't a declaration of peace. It wasn't a demand for surrender. It was this. Yo, you lost. That's it. That's how we reintroduced ourselves to the galaxy. Not with a show of force, not with a massive reveal, but with one confused human asking an alien for their flight logs. And that's how the galaxy learned the truth. We never left. And worse, we had been watching the entire time. The delivery pilot? They panicked, hit the thrusters so hard they nearly broke their ship's drive core. They sent a distress signal so loud that half the galaxy picked it up. And once word got out, oh boy, the universe lost its collective mind. Because Earth wasn't destroyed. Earth wasn't lost. Earth was right there. And we had technology no one understood. We had been hiding in plain sight. And worst of all, we were laughing. We thought moving Earth would keep us safe. We thought hiding would buy us time. But now, the galaxy knows where we are, and they have a very important question. If humanity has the power to move an entire planet, what else are they hiding? And they're about to find out. So, you've just learned that a planet-moving, physics-defying species has been hiding in your backyard for decades. What do you do? If you're the galactic community, the answer is, send every damn fleet we've got. Because now that humanity was found, the rest of the universe had one very important question. How did they do it? And more importantly, can we stop them from doing it again? Spoiler alert, no, they could not. Within days of Earth's reappearance, the entire interstellar community went into full crisis mode. The Vatraxian Empire mobilized a war fleet. The Krell Dominion called an emergency summit. The Zixian coalition started placing bets on whether Earth would disappear again. And then, they sent delegates, not spies, not soldiers, but diplomats. Because for the first time in galactic history, no one wanted a war with humanity. They just wanted to know what the hell we were. The first official contact with humanity's new location took place in Earth's orbital station. The Vatraxians, Krell, Zixians, and about a dozen other major species arrived, prepared for negotiations. And when they arrived, they expected to see a secret weapon, some god-tier technology, some reality-warping supermachine, something that explained how the hell an entire planet just moved. Instead, they were greeted by a human in a hoodie eating a sandwich, and the first thing he said, "Oh hey, you guys want some coffee?" They were not prepared. The alien diplomats had a lot of questions, but there was one that no one wanted to ask, because it was the real fear hanging over this entire meeting. And finally, one of them, a Vatraxian warlord, just blurted it out. "What else can you move?" Silence. The human representative, Dr. Aaron Blake, Earth's leading astrophysicist turned diplomat, just sipped his coffee. Then, he smiled. "Wouldn't you like to know?" The truth? We couldn't move other planets, not the way we moved Earth. What we did took decades of planning, secret research, and a massive amount of luck. But the galaxy didn't know that, and we weren't about to tell them. Instead, we let them draw their own conclusions. We let them fear the possibilities. Because if the rest of the universe thought humanity had the power to move planets at will, why would they ever risk making us angry? After weeks of negotiations, the galactic community made a decision. They officially recognized Earth's new location and agreed to leave humanity alone. Not because they liked us, not because they trusted us, but because deep down, every single species had the same thought. If humanity could move one planet, what's stopping them from moving ours? Now, Earth isn't just a planet. It's a myth, an unspoken rule of the universe, a story species tell their young. Do not anger the humans. Do not threaten their world. Because if you do, they might just take it away. And you know the funniest part? We never have to move another planet again, because the galaxy already believes we can. And that's even more powerful than the truth.